All right, so I have my assignment 4. Just a quick reminder, the way it's set up, I brought in my creature, my cutout creature PNG file. I cut that out of a big piece of cloud to get this. I then used the gradient tool to paint a blue gradation behind. And now I'm starting to bring in clouds from different references. And we'll layer it on top, like sticking cotton balls to a wad of gum in order to make it softer and make it more believable. So the first thing I might do is bring in all this reference and then soften their edges. So if I do that, they will come in as smart objects, like so. This is the reference that I cut out of, but now when I just want to use it as clouds, I might do something like this. I basically want to avoid the sky, because I have my own sky. So unless I can get a really clean cutout, like the example I did before, I can do kind of a rough lasso, and then Command J to duplicate, delete the smart layer because I don't need it, use 100% opaque brush on my eraser, 0% hardness, pretty large, and then cut down these edges so that I have soft edges to blend with on this cloud, whether I'm using a little bit of cloud or a whole lot of cloud. Notice I'm not rotating the cloud too much because lighting matters with clouds. You know, there should be, at least for my light source that I've chosen, more light on the top than on the bottom, kind of more shadows on the bottom. Once you've gotten rid of the hard edges with your soft eraser, again 100% because you don't want little ghosted hard edges anywhere, then you can start playing with warp and transform and really kind of make it fit the shapes you need it to. But again, be mindful not to, tilt it too much so the lighting's weird. Okay, and then you can even move it behind if you want your cutout. I'm going to try not to erase away from my cutout. It has its hard edges. But what I can do is, with it above, I can start taking my opacity down on my soft-edged brush and kind of layering over it. So if it's not 100% opaque anymore, now it's kind of soft-edged. I see, oh, I got a hand there I got to work with, so maybe this will help with the fingers. As long as it's all soft-edged, it might be more believable. It's all that water vapor that's carried in clouds that I can use. And there's going to be little detached clouds coming through. On and on and on. Around the foot, because you don't usually have, I actually like that at the bottom. We're just trying to get an impression of our creature. And while I'm at it, I might as well erase that little debris that's left. Okay, now let's bring in another kind of clean cloud. Let's do this one. Before I even place it, I can stretch it. Right. And now for this, I'm going to do that old technique where I try to select out the sky using the magic wand and contiguous. And pretty aggressively select these blues that are touching on the outside of the clouds. How far do I want to go? Something like that. Then I'm going to use Refine Edge to soften that selection pretty dramatically. So I'm at 40%, feathering 5 pixels. I don't even really need to smooth it. And then when I delete, zoom in so you can see, how it's going to bite in quite a bit on all those clouds and soften them for me. Up. But because it's a smart object, if I want to delete, I have to say rasterize, right click and rasterize, and then I can just delete directly from it. You'll still see I have some blue. So now what I can do is use my magic wand and turn off contiguous and select those blues. And hold down shift and add to all those blues and just get a lot of them. It's another way to clean up the sky. And then hit refine edge again. Hit OK. It's going to remember your settings as long as you have checked remember settings. And then we hit delete. And the more you hit delete, the more it will soften it up and feather it. Okay, so now I've got all these patchy clouds. I'm going to go back to a 100% eraser, make it even bigger. Get rid of a lot of this stuff, which are clouds in the distance, which I don't really want. Take off some of the hardest edges. But like this stuff over here, this is good stuff. These clouds would be really useful. And I don't need to use them all like this. I can make a duplicate of that layer and then just select certain parts. Like this group could be useful to me. Let's just do it this way. So we built that foundation. We kind of cuttered out our creature. Now I want to find something that will kind of work for his mouth. This might kind of work just to suggest some sort of form, some sort of neck, some sort of shadow. We just play with it, and then we use the eraser to kind of blend it in. Oh, yeah, if you want to increase space around for the clouds, you saw how my clouds got cut off. Then you would just go to Image, Canvas Size, and you would increase your canvas size around your image. So for instance, I usually do 30 by 40 inches. I don't think you necessarily need to do that for this because we're just layering up clouds over and over again, but that can give you more space should you want it. Absolutely. Now, unlike our other compositing projects, it's very unlikely you'll find just the perfect cloud to suit your needs, right? So a lot of this is going to be about clone stamping and smudging and using some tools a little bit more aggressively than we have in the past. But right now I am trying to layer them up. I think this could work well as a tail. So I might take this chunk of cloud. Clouds are very malleable, right? As long as the lighting is familiar, I can warp them. As long as I don't totally lose shape, I can stretch them because they're so organic, and I can erase away from them as long as I use a soft brush and kind of get the effect I want. And then once you get rid of the hard edges on your brush, then you can actually work with lower opacities. So if our cutout of our creature is like kind of a wad a wad of gum, of cloud-colored gum. It's very hard-edged. Now we're putting really soft-edged stuff onto it, like cotton balls, tearing off Q-tips. And in order for them to look cloud-like, we have to soften their edge somewhat. We keep the harder edges where they need to look heaviest. And with our gradated sky behind everything, even when you erase away at low opacity, it just mixes it in with the sky color, which is kind of really believable too. All right, let's bring in some more cloud. Or let's just steal from our own. So I could just take this cloud, just to show you it doesn't need to be that complicated. And if I keep erasing from its edges, this will make it even more versatile. And just duplicate it. Command-J, transform it. So use this as part of the chest. Let's flip it horizontally. Let's warp it, make it its own shape. I'm going to use that kind of shadow on the bottom of it. Use it down here. And then erase away the hard edges of the top. So a lot of this exercise, a lot of this assignment is about edge control. Figuring out how much you can, how little you can get away with to showcase your creature. All right, another layer I can steal from, I can go back to this one. I think it's good for that arm. So I'm going to duplicate that and then just erase away. Again with 100%. I'm almost done with this demo, but this is just bringing in my different cloud references and then first thing, taking off the hard edges from them. Even though they can look really cool. And even though we only brought in, I think I only have 4 different kind of cloud references, 1, 2, 3, 4 that I'm using. We're modifying them so much, we're really making them into our own thing. They're not going to be at all recognizable on their own, so we're really making our own choices here. So use that for the hand there. Yes, I have like kind of an arm going out. I have a stomach, a chest, a tail. That foot still needs work. That foot's getting there. I have an arm there. I have auto select layer on, so when I need to erase away from some clouds, I can go right to that layer and I can try at different opacities as long as the hard edges are off. So now as I start to erase, I start layering up these different opacities. And that helps to blend all these different aspects. And opacity is a great tool because you just continue it. The more opaque you want to get, the more kind of layers you can build. All right, let's see. Maybe I can use this layer again. Use another one. So I'm just making lots and lots of clouds. Make another duplicate of that. Let's bring it over. Let's warp it. This will be kind of the jaw.